couple of weeks.
I came in a little late.
We will get there. Hello.
That was
a round of football
that was one of the worst rounds of football I think I've ever watched.
So bad.
Just bad.
None of the games were particularly high quality.
I think the highest quality was the lowest scoring game.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Which I think may have been a function of the conditions.
Yeah,
That raining for most of the week
Doesn't
right?
help. Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
one game that was not low scoring.
No.
Or at least for one side.
For one side.
Was the absolute spanking that the Rabbitohs gave the Broncos on Thursday.
Brisbane suck, and I'm so happy
It was so good.
about it.
Look, and we're having a chat with friends tonight, and it was good because Jai Arrow.
Oh, that I nearly cried watching that
the whole
pre-game thing. That was
He was
awesome.
so touched. You could see that.
I like at the end of it. It's just like get out and play football, man. And if that's not the most Jai Arrow thing, it's so great.
Yeah. I feel sorry for him because they cut a bit early to him, and because he was upset, he was drooling out of his nose. Poor guy. They got rid of it pretty quickly, but it already cut to him, unfortunately.
I think that works.
It does. It shows how what the game meant to him, and probably still means to him, I guess. He's not lost to football completely, and football is right behind this guy as he fights this.
And I think it brings up an interesting point when it comes to like having these sorts of appreciation for, I guess, issues that aren't necessarily related to football a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But when you have like a high profile name, as opposed to like this sort of amorphous thing. If you can put a face to something that is legitimately very, very important, you garner support so much more quickly. Yeah. And I think it's massive that the way both the NRL and the Rabbitohs as an organisation have handled this whole thing is so admirable.
And even and to say even the Broncos were big on this.
Right.
Yeah,
they were
so
awesome. Just an excellent display from everyone here.
And then Souths went and made an excellent display on the field.
They were really good.
They actually were really good. Maybe they should wear white more often.
We're going to crap on the Broncos a lot when we get to them, but I don't want to take away from the fact that the Souths were legitimately really quite good.
Really, very good. They didn't make many errors. They were like,
yeah, right. Like 82% completion. That's exactly where you want to be.
Yeah.
They were very, very good. They were better in contact than the Broncos were. They looked a lot more active with the ball than the Broncos did.
There was
large portions of this game.
Yeah.
Very, very good year for the Rabbits. Is Latrell Seagwell the best goal kicker? He was nailing them all over the shop, man. That was awesome.
He's not the worst player, to be fair.
I feel bad for him because he's going to be left there. It's like
as soon as the other Latrell comes back.
Well, yeah, it's like the Averillo situation at the Dolphins, where he's objectively a great player, but who would you drop out of Jai Gray, Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell, Jack Whiten, and Campbell Graham to put Latrell Seagwell in the team? It's unfortunate for him, but he's made a name for himself. I won't be surprised if
someone picks him up.
Team struggling for outside backs has a look, or if the Rabbitohs just decide to extend
the Bears or something.
Because Alex Johnston is leaving for the Chiefs in 28. Jack Whiten's getting up there in age. They're going to have some open spots in that back line. I'm very interested to see how well he goes.
Sneakily old.
Yeah. So you could have a wing combo of Latrell Seagwell and that Penatani bloke. That's a pretty good young crew to work with. Yeah, I don't hate it. I love watching Ed Cossey just jumping.
Oh, he was so good.
Because he's so large.
He was such a good.
He plays
actually
well.
really big, isn't he?
He's a massive. He's a mountain of a man. You could chuck him in the forwards.
Easy.
He would not be out of place.
He could, to be fair, lose a pound or two, but it's working for him at the moment.
Absolutely works for him.
Yeah.
Jason Taylor.
I thought that
he's not a winger.
My standout for this game, I thought, was Cody Walker. I thought he had his best game of the season.
He played for Jai Arrow that night.
He was excellent.
Because him and Jai are pretty close.
Very close.
So impressed with him. Set up 2 tries.
And he was busy the whole time. Yeah.
He was great. I thought he was really, really good.
And don't get me wrong, I will dump on him if I think he's been lazy or whatever, but he wasn't, and he played a full 80 minutes, and it was, you could see, they wanted this win.
You could see that especially in, I think, David Fafita's performance.
Yes.
He looked really, really
That
active.
was one of his best performances in the last few years, to be fair.
He looked really, really intentful with his running. I was very, very pleased seeing him play the way he did. Hopefully he can keep that emotion up for the rest
Hopefully
of
it
the
won't
season.
just be this one-off thing because, hey, it was a big game.
Exactly.
And he turns back into like a potato.
Other guy that I thought was very good was Jamie Humphries coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's always good.
I thought he was very good. I know I think it's essentially confirmed he's going to the Bears, and I think it's because he wants to play halfback, but between him, Toby Sexton, and Tyron Wishart, I don't think it's a guarantee. I'd prefer him almost be, especially with how the modern game is, I think a lock forward role, because he's built, right? He's a very large guy. I think peak forward could
I know
work
he
for
probably
him.
doesn't want that, but he could play utility because he can play any number of the forwards.
Well, he can cover essentially the entire spine, plus he can play lock if you need.
Yeah.
I don't hate that either. I don't know whether that's what he wants to do.
No,
so
he probably doesn't.
It'll be
He probably
interesting
would
to
hate
see how
but
that situation plays out.
Not many people want to play utility.
The thing with them is that you've got Sexton's a halfback, right? That's just what he is. Between Wishart and Humphries, you could put one of them at 9 and one of them at 6, and I think it'd work. So I'm intrigued to see.
Wishart at 9 would probably be the best out of those.
He was. I thought Jamie Humphries was excellent this game. It's the best he's looked this year so far.
Yeah.
And
And
obviously,
your latest man crush?
I've been on him for a long time, man. I was so happy to see John Radel in this game, and I thought he was pretty strong. To be fair, he was very, very good in defense, forced 2 errors. His leg drive is great. Obviously scored a great try on debut. I want him to get more minutes. He was 9 for 88. He was great.
Yeah,
14 tackles, no misses, just standard in 30 minutes, which is less than what he usually plays in Q Cup. You can't ask for much better from him, I think. I want to see more of him.
Go check out the John Radel fan club video if you haven't already.
I edited together all of the John Radel stuff from the live stream. It's like 20 minutes long or something.
It's 16, like
hilarious.
52 or something.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, it's on at about 3,000 decibels.
Also, shout out Lockie Huffner for chasing down Adam Reynolds. That was funny. That was pretty funny.
Adam Reynolds, who is like 1 million years old and is lucky to be able to run at all.
Well, 1 million years old and on a team that is very clearly just exhausted. They look so tired.
That's not the Broncos, right? I mean, last year they were finishing over the top of everybody. This year,
They've been run into the ground.
everybody is finishing over the top of them.
And unfortunately, it's a trend for Michael Maguire teams that
It
this
is.
happens.
He works them to the bone and they've got nothing left.
Look, if you want to get the best out of a squad in the short term, Maguire's your guy, right? He will get the best out of a squad for 1 or 2 years.
It's like what he did with New Zealand when they beat Australia, right?
Exactly, and even the first rabbit stint, right? You had like Inglis was getting up there, and H. Burgess was on the way out. John Sutton was on the way out. They had a lot of aging people, and they wanted to get one more shot. He's your guy. The Tigers one was just a function of the squad being bad, but even then he overachieved with getting them to like 9th perpetually or whatever it was. So yeah, and now it's happened with the Broncos. They win a chip, and they've fallen through the floor because they've been pushed too hard.
What about Tim Sheens?
No, Sheens was afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
Sheens was after Maguire. That was terrible as well. But yeah, it's just they just look so tired. And like this is the middle of the year, right? And you've got people cramping up halfway through a game. That should be indicated that these guys are being pushed too hard.
So this bye that's coming up probably is the best thing for them.
Or if it's
It
Michael
could be
Maguire,
worse.
he
Yeah,
could
he's
just
just gonna work
absolutely
them to the
rip
bone.
into them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the worst thing. And you're looking at it. The Broncos are in such a weird situation because I remember going into the year, we all thought that these guys could be the ones to finally like fully dethrone Penrith with how good their young core is, how connected they were, especially back in the last year before Maurice Walsh was in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you've got Payne Haas is gone next year. Pat Carrigan's talking about playing for PNG. You're losing lots of these young guys. How many more do you have to lose before you think that there's a culture problem here? Like Ben Teo left because he didn't agree with how Michael Maguire was doing things. So I think there is a major like introspection that needs to happen over the next few weeks for the Broncos to try and salvage what's left of this season because it's close to being over. It's really close to being over.
Close to being over. Yes, I agree with you. They lose 1 or 2 more, and that's that. You can throw away.
Yeah, how many? You think that you need to win 12 or 13?
At least
games
12,
to make the
probably 13 to be safe.
They're probably going to win 8 games out of their next 10.
Yeah,
which is really, really tricky for their draw, especially if I remember correctly, is really, really tricky from here on in. Let's see: Roosters, Sharks, Panthers, Cowboys, Knights, Dolphins, Warriors, Raiders, Storm, Bulldogs.
they could literally lose 2/3 of those games.
Pretty easily, yeah. So it's
Cowboys.
dire straits.
Yeah.
for the
They're going to lose to
Broncos.
the Cowboys.
through no fault of one man, though, Xavier Willison is the only bright spot on this team.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying so hard.
And
Give him so many props for what he's doing, man.
side note, how did Alex Johnson get 4 tries and still only get 70 fantasy points?
Because his leg's exploding as we speak. He scored 4 tries with, I think, strapping on his leg that's bigger than his actual leg.
It's
It's like the-
he's,
And you know the SpongeBob clip where the guy is just like in full body plaster, glass bones and paper skin? That's what Alex Johnston is right now, and he's still rolling
being
out.
held together by sticky tape.
Like all of a sudden, he's only 2 tries behind Tom Jenkins.
Yeah, I
for the
know.
year, like-
Jenkins has dried up. His tries have dried
So
up.
keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's about it. Also, why pull Tom Duffy? 35 minutes into the game, you pull Tom Duffy.
For
Why?
Ezra Mann.
Ezra Mann. What is? I don't understand what the point of that is. If you want to go all in on Tom Duffy, go all in on him. If you think Ezra Mann is not your guy, don't put him in. Why?
Well, I think Duffy
in the
came back
world?
on towards the end of the game as well. And
Yeah,
like,
because Reynolds got hurt.
Yeah.
And Ezra Mann busted his shoulder as well. It's just like, I don't understand what the methodology is of switching this spine within games, especially that early where it wasn't that bad yet. So I fully don't understand what's going through the mind of Michael Maguire there. It's just, I don't get it, dude. You know a sentence I never thought I'd say? They miss Billy Walters. They miss Billy Walters with
It's
his,
a guy with autism.
they miss his creativity out of dummy
I'm
half.
not saying it's bad, but
They miss his creativity out of dummy half very clearly, because Corey Paix, solid defender, fine. 1 run for no meters in an 80-minute game is unacceptable for a dummy half in the modern game.
That's absolutely true.
So I think they need to figure something out. Ben Hunt, I don't know why he keeps getting minutes. He clearly just stifles the entire team. There's big problems with the Broncos now.
Yeah, I think they've got issues. I'm almost happy to put a line through them.
I'm very, very close. It's just tricky because we know the streaks they can go on.
We know the quality of players, but do they have
Anything left, right? You need Haas, Carrigan, and Walsh to carry you for the entire year. And when the rest of your team is at like decently full strength, that's fine. But when they are
You're
just
missing,
as lethargic as they are, it's so tricky. So
I mean,
it's
the South
close.
seem to be able to put 48. 48. Shame you couldn't have got 2 more, but that's okay.
South Sydney missing people, by the way.
yeah.
Like they were missing Cam Murray, they're still missing Latrell Mitchell,
Yeah.
right? Like just they're not healthy either.
No.
So the fact that they can do this is pretty sad indictment on how the Broncos are right now.
Really is, yeah.
it's sad
not
for
really
them.
much.
I feel bad for Karapani. He's also playing pretty well.
He tries.
It's sad for them. It's not sad for anybody else.
He led the team in meters, I believe. Yeah, 169. But not bad. Not bad for Karapani. Scored the team's only try. He's doing okay.
Ezra Mann was bad.
I tell you what, for the minutes he was on, I thought Josh Rogers made a pretty decent fist of playing long. He was okay. He got found out a little bit towards the end of his stint because obviously he's just that much smaller than all the other forwards on the field. But he definitely brought some impetus in defense.
Some energy.
I thought.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that, but I just they
Ezra
need
Mann
bodies
still
there.
needs to be in reserve.
I don't know
Sorry.
why
he is horrendous.
I don't know why he's in this team. It is beyond my
He
comprehension.
is so bad. Anyway.
Crazy. You know what is within my comprehension, however? Magically, when Hamaso's not playing, the Dolphins turn into world beaters. 48-10 win over the Roosters. This was a procession.
Yeah, well,
This just wasn't fair.
I have to say, you can't read a huge amount into it, to be fair, with all the players both teams were missing.
Well, it just shows how
I will read one thing into this, and that is if you put Isaiah Katoa in a Knights jersey, he and Andrew Johns are indistinguishable. He is so good. Like this was a masterclass from Isaiah Katoa in terms of controlling the tempo of a game. Like the one where I think he put Oren Keeley through and Trey Fuller was backing up the score. The deception he showed in like 2 steps to fool 3 people was ludicrous.
He's
so good.
He's the now of halfbacks, right? It's not
Right,
the future.
like,
he is the now.
He's the guy, right?
Yeah.
I can see why Penrith was so mad they couldn't keep him because this guy's a legend in the making.
He is very, very good, and he's got a really good understanding with
He's clearly a very, very smart person, right? It's just incredible watching him play football.
Yeah, he's got a really good understanding of Cody as well. I think they're working.
Oh yeah, Cody Nicarima's been really good this year. I'll give him the credit he deserves.
Also, Trey Fuller is the GOAT.
Trey Fuller, 300.
It's amazing how when he plays, they score 1 billion points. Did I not say this at the beginning of the bye period, where it's like, oh yeah, they're going to score 100 points while Hammer's not playing? He had 300 meters in this game.
Vito Fahu also went 250. You know that
He was good. Herbie Farnworth with 160. But their back five is just insane.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Even with Jermaine Zacco's finger literally falling off.
I'm sorry for him.
He dislocated it like 3 times and then went for surgery on it. Just
He's a brave son of a gun putting it back in though.
Yeah, they're all pretty tough.
they're all pretty tough.
Tom Gilbert, I thought, played fairly well.
He was pretty good.
I thought Molo was pretty strong.
They've got so many good. Kurt Donahue falls to the wayside a lot, but he's a stellar footballer. I want him to get the credit he deserves because he's
Oren
great.
Keeley, they've just got not many bad players.
See, for a team that's existed for like 3 years, their depth is nuts.
I like Morgan Knowles.
Their depth is ridiculous.
9 runs for 113, that's pretty good.
Like a player of Oren Keeley's caliber is like at best the 3rd best second rower on this team.
But they work so well
They
together.
they are clearly a very, very well coached team. You've got to give Christian Wolf all the credit for this. He's doing very, very well.
You know who the Cowboys should have got instead of Todd Payton?
Mm-hmm.
Christian Wolf.
Remember, we were barracking for that. Crazy.
How could they not get him? I mean, I know he had St. Helens or Wigan or whatever over in
I think
England,
it
but
was St. Helens.
So just there's not much to say about the Dolphins other than the fact that they beat up a team that didn't have any outside backs. Like really.
yeah, look, they were missing everyone.
Oh, we're going to talk about Tavita Naufahu with the best chase down tackle of the year. Easy. On Cody Ramsey. Running like 130 meters to catch him. Very, very impressive.
I worked it out on I think it's only extra 5 meters that he ran, but we won't worry.
Yeah, 5 meters is 5 meters. My highlight's coming on. Quick, someone else talk.
Roosters were missing.
They were missing
everybody.
7 players.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair in this game.
To Origin. That's
Especially-
why I said, even though the scoreline says what it says, I think both teams were missing players, and I think that the Roosters missed their players more.
But I guess it just shows how deep the Dolphins.
The Dolphins do have a
player pool is.
good depth at the moment, but in saying that, you know,
They didn't have to play Reece Foley in the sentence.
no, and see, who is Reece Foley?
Precisely.
Yeah, you know, so the Roosters did as well as they could.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna.
I guess the Dolphins didn't also have to play Egan Butcher.
I'm not going to disparage the Roosters too hard, especially because Hugo Savala and Egan Butcher. I think Reece Foley and Hugo Savala both got hurt in this game, so
HIA and
just more bodies. Now Farker White's really good though.
He's always so
Why
good.
does he not get talked about as like one of the best prop forwards in the competition? He's right up there.
It's because he just goes about his business, right? He's not
And it's
showboating
because
himself.
I think it's mostly because the Roosters squad is like it's objectively really good,
It
right?
is, yeah.
So he doesn't have to play the 70 minutes a week like your Payne Haas's and all of the Terrell Mays, all the premier props do.
Yeah.
So his stats don't seem as good, but when you watch him play, like
I mean,
he
was
is.
at 16 runs, 178.
Well, he played the whole game this week, right? 16 for 178. He had 3 tackle busts, 44 tackles only.
So that shows that he can play the whole game
Yeah, well, they just don't
at a
need him too
decent
much.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was pretty good. I thought Spencer Leniu was also really
he
good.
tried really hard, didn't he?
He's finally starting to find some actual caring about playing football. It was good to see Rex Bassingthwaighte get over. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's nice when a debutant
It's
gets
the largest gap between first and last name in NRL history.
Yep.
Crazy.
Nice.
Love that. The
Rex.
random G is what does it, right? THWAIGHTE.
Yeah, that's
Why
weird.
the G, Rex?
Well,
Explain
the
that.
H even,
Rex.
because, our name is quite similar to that without the GH.
Oh, there are 2 debutants scored. Sorry, Toby Rodwell also
Yes.
got over. So
They're
good
two
for those guys.
Their
Son of
2
Brett
tries
Rodwell.
were from debutants. That's pretty neat.
Son of Brett was Brodwell.
They've got a few
NRL
NRL
player.
system, so let's see how they go.
Yeah.
But
Look,
yeah,
like I said, I'm not reading too
Well,
much.
you know why they lost? They didn't play Taylor Lasalu at all. That's why. Because he's also really good. They decided to play Junior Tupou instead.
Yeah, he's.
Hooray.
Salu's obviously the.
Actually,
entire
he
team.
probably would have.
It was horrible.
He probably would have got minutes if their entire outside backs didn't get hurt. So he can push the playing 8 minutes. Stupid. But it's just like the Roosters were just worse.
They were.
Their edge defense was their problem, and that was going to happen when they had.
When they were missing everybody.
So
yeah.
No, I'm not going to read too much into that for the Roosters. It just brings them back to the pack a little bit because now there's like 5 or 6 teams on 8 wins with them. So that's quickly becoming a logjam for the bottom half. Of the
Including the
top 4.
Cowboys. You
Yeah,
know,
well, I
they're
don't
there.
include them in that conversation.
Well, they are. They've had
They
8
are.
wins.
They are worse than all of those other teams.
Okay, whatever. I thought you said the Roosters were basically just the Cowboys.
Yeah, but 10% better because their squad is better. Anyway,
Not by much.
then Saturday happened, which was one of the lowest scoring days of all time.
Was actually, yeah.
So opened up. The Warriors lose to the Sharks at home, 8-10 because Braden Trindle kicked a 2-point field goal into space. That was massive.
I just don't know how he did it because it was just like, oh yeah, well we're here, we'll have a go. And it went bang, and it was wet.
It went so far,
But
I didn't think he had that in him.
the only talking point that comes out of it is the dropout,
The shot clock.
This
Thing. But see, you know what's funny is that it's gone the inverse. The NRL has issued the please explain to the Warriors because they're the one. It's their stadium. They're the ones that control the display of that. That's not the NRL's fault.
But how many times have you heard the buzzer go off and nothing's been done anyway? I think something could have just let it go.
Depends on if they've started their kicking motion or whatever. Or if
He kicked on the buzzer and it was still a penalty, and it was his fault anyway because he told Chanel that he had 5 seconds. He kicked in 2 seconds and was wrong.
Yeah.
So at that point, something needs to leave it.
Yeah.
He needs to let it go.
With that point, I can understand especially why Andrew Webster got the most animated I think I've ever seen him in a press conference. He was livid about this whole ordeal.
See, that's 2 points. And guess what they won by? 2 points.
Wasn't that the scrum thing as well that happened?
I felt a lot for Pompey actually because he had the penalty goal to try and tie it up at the end.
Man.
You got to look. He's not their number 1 choice goal kicker, right? I mean, no, it would have been Hannah Boyd normally.
Yeah, he is now the.
He is now, but he's not
Just because they
the premier goal kicker like Hannah Boyd would have.
Yeah, I don't think his career goal kicking percentage is all that great.
No,
but he's serviceable enough.
he is serviceable.
Is he? He kicks at 83. That's not bad.
Yeah,
How many kicks has he actually had?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. It's not going to say. No, there's not many.
But that's the thing, right? I feel for him a little bit. I mean, if he kicks it, he's a hero.
He's kicked 56 goals in his career.
Yeah, not that many. So he's kicked 56 out of about.
I feel like that's going to be the sickest feeling in the world, right? To miss a kick like that.
Yeah, I felt for him. I really did. I actually didn't know about that shot clock thing until later, and I thought, the ref has now stuffed it up for the Warriors, right?
No, well, again, right? Warriors fans have the
They do,
scapegoat.
and look, I think Warriors, you are one of the worst ref teams in the competition. I do feel for you.
Us as Cowboys fans don't
We understand how you feel, right? But
The refs hate travel.
I think the Warriors are slightly worse off than the Cowboys are.
The refs are going
I
to
agree.
absolutely hate PNG.
No, they're going to love. They have to make PNG good.
Oh, right, yeah, because the expense.
They have to.
They're gonna hate Perth.
They hate Perth.
They're going to hate Perth.
Yeah.
Perth is the problem.
Perth is the furthest away.
They're going to be so bad.
It's like 5 hours by plane.
In terms of players, Jackson Ford's just doing Jackson Ford.
Taintua Tuapiki is really good.
He is pretty good. I quite like watching Taintua Tuapiki run around. Obviously, Cam Pereira got hurt.
Okay,
in
can
this game.
we just say that there was one of the best things that happened in this game when Bubba
Will Kennedy,
Oh,
the charge down that he
Caught
caught.
the
That
charge
was
down
insane.
was amazing.
he caught it. How does that
I
even
don't even
happen?
think he meant to catch it.
It's
He
amazing.
just tried
He
to
got
drag
it and it got stuck between his arm and his leg, and it didn't hit
and
the
it just
ground.
stayed there.
And then he just was like, okay, he had a good game.
I'll give him
He
his
was
flowers.
very
He was
good.
excellent.
Yeah.
I'm typically pretty anti Will Kennedy,
Yeah.
but he had a great game.
He had a really good game.
I don't mind Will.
Look,
This was the way the Sharks had to win.
the Sharks needed to win like that. If they got to that point and lost, that would have been Devo for them, right?
Is Katoa? Yes, is he injured? Because Bramian's on.
No, he was in this game.
Oh wait, no, he's on the bench.
Sione was in this. Yeah, he played wing. He was a late in because they dropped off.
I like
Sam Stone.
Pereira.
No, wrong team. Sam Stone Street was the late
Yeah,
out in this
Loffy's
one.
on.
Loffy's on the other one,
Loffy's-
yes.
But yeah, it's just like the Warriors just looked a little bit out physical in this game, which is impressive considering the Sharks didn't have Adam Fanua Blake. so they just had to rely on
And the conditions absolutely rigged.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they
the
were-
They were horrendous.
The conditions in this game suited one man in particular, and that was Cam McInnes. He put in a vintage performance. 56 tackles,
obviously the
2
hottest
misses.
man in the league, right?
Obviously, 4 tackle breaks, 120 meters.
The man's missing teeth.
He led the forward
His
pack
face
for
is-
meters.
His face looks like it's made of plasticine.
I will not hear any Cam McInnes
He
slam.
looks like a stop motion doll.
His face looks like if he had failed plastic surgery.
Well, this is ridiculous. You guys are so
He
rude.
looks like one of those guys from the Thunderbirds Are Go.
Okay, this is so rude.
Look, he's a good footballer, but
He
he's
is. He's great.
certainly no poster boy.
So
I
if you had
I can't believe he's going to York. Why is he
York.
going to York?
You know
He's
what-
going to be the grand old Duke.
You know one of those.
They need a new Duke because one of them's been fired.
You know one of those like stress balls that has a little netting around it, and you squeeze it. That's what his face is.
It was like melted ice cream.
It's a Nido. No, his face is a Nido.
Anyway, moving on from that. Teague Wilton's good.
Teague Wilton is very good.
Although it was a bit like, but there wasn't much. Let's face it, if you're running in the wet, you're not actually running
Yeah, I
as
feel
far.
like there wasn't much time of possession in this game. Well, it was 58 minutes, 59 minutes. Pretty normal.
But the
I
average
suppose.
set distances were pretty low for both
Yeah.
sides, and it was just a
Just,
slog.
it's just a slog.
Yeah.
But, you know, congrats to the Sharks. They did this even with losing Jesse Colquhoun to an HIA, if I remember correctly. So they've done pretty well.
Look, you have to
Go
give them
with.
props to go down to New Zealand in New Zealand conditions and beat New Zealand.
I think it says a lot more about the Warriors this game, because this is a little bit disappointing for a team that's
But it
been
was
pretty good.
absolutely pumping down
recently.
rain.
Yeah, but it wasn't only affecting one.
I mean,
team.
look at that average set distance,
30
32
meters.
meters,
Yeah, it was
33.
just a
It was
grind.
just horrible.
So
Wasn't the greatest game. It was look. It wasn't the greatest, but it was still one of the best games of the weekend because the bar's not very high.
because it was close, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but the next game is also very close.
Next game was also very close. It was worse.
It was terrible.
Eels Raiders was an absolute joke of
It
a
was
football
a horrible game
It
of
was
football.
So bad.
So bad.
Parramatta just somehow outlasted
How in the world
the Raiders.
How did they nearly lose this game? How?
Because it's Parramatta and they've forgotten how to win.
Yeah, but the Raiders also don't know how to win anymore.
Yeah, I
so
suppose.
this is a rough one for the Raiders. I think it might be over
I think the Raiders are in all
I think it's curtains.
because I think they're on the same amount of wins as
Are they on the same as the
the
Broncos?
Broncos now. Yeah, 5 wins.
Five,
Then the
yeah.
Dogs, Broncos, Eels. They're all on the same amount of wins, and it's just
Don't do
it's
me
pretty
again.
dicey.
So they need 7 or 8 from their last 10, and that's not.
I don't see
easy.
either of these teams doing that, unfortunately. The Raiders might be the close ones because they could go on a run where like KO Weeks turns insane.
He's
It's
already
one Matt
insane,
Bowen.
but
Ethan
yeah.
Sanders figures things out and they get all their players back, but like even Simi Sasangi's not due back for another month now, so
Joseph Tarpany, there's some pretty big.
he's good. He's very good.
Yeah.
I quite like Joe Tarpany. 20 for 184. He played 57 minutes. That's a ridiculous work rate.
That is pretty good.
30 tackles. He missed 5, which isn't the best.
That's not great, but yeah.
You know, but even people like Corey Horsburgh's really turned it on this year. Well, Ethan Sanders,
This was a comeback,
Man.
right? It's the worst stadium in the history of
fallen
stadium.
over. It is the opposite of what KO Weeks loves to do, right?
It's
It
like
slips
Met.
over
It's
all
like
the
the
time.
NRL version of MetLife.
They had.
It's because the grass is like up to their shins.
They had a debut
Terrible.
this game. Vina Patuki case. He was fine.
The
He did what you want from
Vina
him. forward
Tuki
debut.
bird.
He was okay, but it's
Tuki
just
bird.
it's just more of the same from the Raiders. Unfortunately, they're just not the team they were last year, and I think you can see that with Ethan Sanders. He's just not quite there yet. I don't know whether they'll put Kobe Black in at some point, but
Yeah, look, Kyle Weeks is trying hard. Xavier Savage, that's not.
they need to drop Jed Stewart. He's useless.
He is hopeless.
He is
He is
very bad.
bad.
We used to every single coach's sons never go well.
No,
Like when was the last time? Is there ever been a time?
Nathan Cleary, I guess.
I guess it's Nathan Cleary, right? He's the outlier.
Yeah.
But it's just strange what's happened to the Raiders here. I mean, it's not strange. I mean, this is not.
This is normal.
I mean, this isn't the first time
Is that-
a team's gone really well, lost their veteran halfback, and then capitulated. Like, look at the Broncos when they lost Reynolds. The same thing happened. I'm not the Broncos, the Rabbits when they lost Reynolds. So
Zach Hosking did okay.
Zach Hosking did fine. He's pretty good. He's a good defender.
Yeah.
I'll give him his good defender status.
Yeah.
So it's just the Raiders.
They
They're
weren't
injured.
good.
They're not
Parramatta
great.
were just less bad,
Yeah, this is
and
bad.
that was it.
There's one good player, and it's Isaiah Iongi. He's amazing.
He is incredible.
He was so good, man. 3 line break assists. He set up 2 tries. He was awesome.
Yeah.
175 meters. There's not much else you can ask for from a fullback in this game, I don't think. He was great. Was Kelma-Tuolangi's try a try?
I didn't
It was
watch
very, very close.
I didn't even see it.
It's one of those ones where he grounds it very close to the line and it rolls, but he doesn't really lose possession of it. It's very, very tricky.
I'm quite happy for it to stay as a try, but I would have understood if they didn't give it as well.
I was fine with it. I think it was fine being a try.
Yeah. I've seen many of them like that in the past.
So
There was one against the Cowboys with Manly that time when
Oh yes.
He grounded short. He didn't even hit the line.
George Tafua.
Yes,
he grounded it short and didn't even hit the line.
I think he tried to do it over his head or something, and then they just that was one of those similar type thing, which was given a try.
You know that the Parramatta Eels are in bad shape with their starting hooker is Harrison Edwards. So there's that.
He is a hooker by trade, though.
Yeah, we played him as a middle forward for idiots. Yeah, but it's just
that's because Reece Robson could play a full game.
I guess it's just I like watching Jordan Samrani. He's pretty good.
He's actually pretty good. I like Jordan.
I like Katonga.
I actually
like
Ronald Volkman's doing pretty well
He's
for himself.
Not bad. There are three people in this team that look the same.
Yes.
Ronald Volkman, Josiah Papali'i, and Isaiah Yongi. They all look the same. And when the commentator was calling this guy's name, I'm sure you got that wrong.
Papali'i and Yongi especially look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, it's just good. Jack Williams is just a solid leader in that forward pack. They've got Sam Tuivasa,
and they've got
really good.
The innovativeness of Walker. Dylan comes on and can still do some.
He's still a quality footballer.
I'm pretty sure when Volkman was taking one of the kicks, they accidentally put Yongi's
stat line.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, that's because they look similar, man. They all look the same.
But yeah, it's just, Parramatta did that thing where they just out-enthused the team they're playing against. That's the one thing you can say about them under Riles is that they play with a crap ton of heart.
They do.
And they're fun to watch.
Riles is Parramatta, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're fun to watch simply because of that, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the squad to compete right now, but, they're not a bad football team.
No, average is nearly 41 metres is not bad.
It's not bad. They did all right. They only missed 34 tackles. That's pretty decent.
That's okay if you only missed that many.
So good job, Para.
Yeah, well done.
I don't hate you. I don't
hate Parramatta.
I don't like the Raiders.
I don't hate the Raiders either, but they're just going forward.
Speaking of teams I like, Titans. The Titans are so painful, dude.
They're so bad.
They're so painful.
Apart from Keanu Kinney.
Keanu Kinney was Superman in this game, and it still wasn't enough.
No, what was it? 32 runs for 330 metres. It's just ridiculous.
He played one of the best halves of football I think I've ever seen.
When they went in at 24-12 or whatever it was, I thought, you know what? Probably happy to get this tipped wrong because I actually tipped the Tigers.
Titans. I forgot that it was the last game at Leichhardt when I did that, and I was just like,
But look, the Titans played really well. But you know who turned into Superman in the second half? Jerome Luai.
He had his best game in a Tigers jersey.
He was
stellar.
Very, very good. And I don't like him very much.
I cannot believe that he had this sort of game. He was awesome.
He was very good. Look, 3 of his own tries. Yep. One of them was a crash play, for goodness sake. I mean, what's going on there?
That's a Jerome Luai crash play.
That scoring that final try to see off Leichhardt is a great moment. I thought he was stellar. Terrell May doing Terrell May things with 230 metres and 46 tackles with only missing one. He's just ludicrous.
To be fair,
it
was up against a pack that was missing Tino Fa'asumau.
Yeah, they're also missing Alex Twal and Kai Pierce pulled in his peck in this game.
And Adam Dewey.
So the Tigers are by no means at full strength.
No.
So
they played for Leichhardt, let's face it, that's what they were doing. The Gold Coast were excellent for 40 minutes.
They were good for about 25 minutes and it nearly won them the game.
It did. Sorry. One player was really, really good for 25 and it nearly won them the game.
Titans, man.
He just went ham in 10 minutes. He put on 3 tries, ran 200 metres. It was just ridiculous.
It's funny that Alex Seyfarth is good when he doesn't get sin bin. I love
funny that, right?
Funny how that works.
Sin bin's bad.
The Tigers did it for Leichhardt, man. I can't fault them for that. For the Titans, it's just Keanu Kinney obviously was stellar. I was pretty impressed with Mo. He always has to step up in rep periods when Tino was out. I thought he was pretty good, 100 metres.
Fermor was pretty good. He scored a try.
Yeah, Bo Fermor, I feel like we always talk about him as like the sort of strike try scoring forward. I think it's like his 2nd or 3rd try for the year. That's just proof of how bad the
a long-suffering. They're the longest-suffering fan.
It feels like they're perpetually so close to being good.
Yeah,
There's such a tantalizing franchise, and it's really only been put together for a couple of years in like the past 20 years that they've existed. They're going to be.
Jaden Campbell is an excellent footballer. I think if they can just put it together for a whole season,
I'm not sold on them and him and Harrison being a thing. I mean, it probably suits Jaden Campbell's game objectively slightly better because he doesn't have to be the 5'8" and the halfback at the same time. I don't know. It's a bit strange. Just
Brunson's bad.
what are they doing with Cooper Bye? I would like to know. Why is he playing 36 minutes starting lock when he is like objectively probably their third best forward?
Yeah.
And they're like it's Mo, Haas, and then probably him, and they're giving Curtis Morin more minutes. Like I truly don't understand what the methodology is there. And Ollie
Aramahau wasn't horrible. He was okay.
Ollie Pascoe finally had his welcome to the NRL game. I thought he got
pretty
punched.
He was pretty awful.
Like I think he 48. He missed 6 tackles. He was playing. He was in the wars.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
So I feel bad for him. I feel bad for all of this squad. To be fair, they just can't seem to be good, even accidentally. It sucks.
It's good for them to beat the Broncos.
They did beat the Broncos.
That was funny. So Keanu Keating had the
Just
greatest try.
show me something, Titans. I mean, they showed something here, but show me something that results in a win.
They showed you something that resulted in a win 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I just like the photo of Keanu, the big cheesy grin on his face.
Heck yeah, man! He enjoys playing football. Don't slander the man for enjoying playing.
I don't. I think he's great. I think he's one of our brightest prospects coming through.
He's awesome.
It's good when some guys enjoy playing football.
Alrighty. Now, we're recording this on Tuesday night. When this goes up tomorrow, Origin will be today.
Yes.
Big news. Casey McLean, out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark Nwangani Tawasi, in. Insane.
Yeah.
Jack Bostock, new man on the bench.
He probably won't play.
I don't think he will either.
Yeah, me neither.
So, now that the teams seem to be what they are going to be, who's winning?
Queensland.
I don't know.
Queensland.
I feel like you always go into an Origin not knowing who's going to win.
No, look. Given how dominant Queensland were 13 on 13, I think, in game 1, I think, and the fact that they're playing Mitchell Moses, who has to still be slightly under an injury cloud,
fully healthy,
right?
Surely. Like I'm pretty sure they gave him until like Thursday to be healthy and train, and he wasn't healthy in training, and they kept him in regardless.
Anyway,
I don't understand.
I think that's a mistake. This is Laurie Daly.
This is Laurie Daly, right?
I just think Queensland will want it more at this point, simply because of what happened in game 1.
You're possibly correct.
And they know how to play Origin. We know that Queensland teams know how to play Origin. We know that Billy obviously gets them ready for it, right? So I just believe that Queensland will want it more. Whether that equates to them winning, that's yet to be seen. But look, I would tip Queensland, and that's not even just because I'm from Queensland. I just think in this game they're going to be hard to beat.
I think you're partially right in that in game 1 they were the better team, 13 on 13. But my counterpoint would be the Blues were like really, really bad in that first half. I can't see them starting that poorly again in game 2.
Yeah, but do you remember? I mean, was it last year when they won? When Queensland won 2 years ago.
What?
Oh no,
They won
last year.
In 2024, the Blues won.
Yeah.
Like in game 2, even though it got close, that first for Queensland will come out of the blocks really hard. New South Wales didn't necessarily do anything amazingly wrong, but Queensland were just dominant.
Yeah.
And Queensland will make New South Wales pay for any mistakes that they make. We know that.
Yeah.
They did it in the last game. I mean, they were up 20-0 in the first 20 minutes. Yes, it got a bit boring after that. Nothing much happened for like 40 minutes. But
here's my concern for Queensland. Who on the bench is going to match it with Adam Fanua-Blake? It's Plath, Collins, Finafuiaki, Boyero. I don't think any of them are going to be able to contain Adam Fanua-Blake, who's just going to have 30 minutes to do his worst. And that's scary.
Finifuyaki might be able to give him a bit of
I'm not even certain Finifuyaki is going to get on the field.
When's he-
I would not be surprised if Reece Walsh gets on the field instead of him.
I think the only way Reece gets on it is if one of the outside backs gets injured. Because he can't play anywhere else.
I think Reece gets on if they're behind with like 15 minutes left and they need some spark. Because if anyone can wreak havoc for 15 minutes, it is probably Reece Walsh. So I'm intrigued to
He's
see.
very much like a Mark Norman. Was he, though, where...
Marky Mark is either going to have the best Origin game you've ever seen or single-handedly lose it for the Blues. It's either of those two, nothing in between.
And I don't think Laurie Daly will rein him in full. I just don't...
Oh no, you gotta let him go, right? He picked Zach Lomax, Laurie Daly did. Mark is almost the same in terms of play style.
I was listening to him talk about him, Laurie talking about Mark was on a Dolo show on Triple M. And he was saying the only thing he talked about him was he's an amazingly big human being.
Yes, he is.
He was surprised at how
190,
big he was.
100.
Yeah.
He's a large man. He's the same size as John Radel. And playing on the wing.
He's
John
slightly
Radel's
smaller
playing
than Taolangi, actually.
Talangi's
There's
not even
another
very
reason
good.
why I think that the NRL favour Reece Walsh, right? Go down.
Here we go.
Go down.
Why?
Notice how he has his Broncos jersey picture, but Muzz doesn't have his any picture.
Well, they just have
Neither
the
does-
picture in
Neither
yellow.
does Lukey.
Appy Coruscant didn't have his until recently, anyway. So
And Adam Vanilla Blake's is overexposed.
They could at least show Muzz's and Lukey's Cowboys jersey.
They did that in game one for all of the people, to be fair, except Victor Radley, who had this photo where he looks like a supervillain because the shadows are awful. My
But
word.
But like, you could at least put their photos for the Cowboys in
Look,
there, and not just have Reese's photos.
the thing that might undo the Blues is simply selections, because what did Homole Olakawatu do wrong?
Yeah, I don't know.
And what did Dylan Lucas do right other than run faster than Isaiah Iongi?
I can only think that it's something to do with his training.
Really?
That's all I can think.
He's the best second rower in the competition.
Yeah, but if he's not coming to the party with training and stuff like that, that doesn't really matter. You know, I mean...
That's
can't-
insane to me.
Look, I'm quite happy he's not in the New South Wales team.
Oh, as a Queenslander,
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
But, you know, that's what I think was what Laurie was talking about. There were just a few things that he wasn't doing the way
Right.
they wanted him to do, basically, and that's what Laurie was
And
saying
Dylan
on the radio.
Lucas is the better option?
Oh, well, Dylan Lucas is some speed, we know that. He's
Yes.
certainly faster than whoever. Although, Britton Nicker is quite fast as well, to be fair.
Rosie Nicker there.
They're capable of
Payne
fast
Haas, obviously, in for the Blues.
Yeah.
Yes. The importance of that need not be overstated. So,
Okay, so I think
So somehow Kurt Capel's the better option at second row over Halem Lukey. Explain that, Billy.
experience. That's a classic Billy Slater thing.
can I actually say
He was okay.
he was fine. It was just he got bathed when he was put out into the centres, and you're going to feel for him because he's not
Yeah,
a centre, right? And that's where they went all the time because they knew that they could have.
Because, like, for the most part, I thought he contained Hudson Young fairly well in game
I didn't
one.
think Hudson did very much.
I'm not sold on Ruben Cotter at lock. I don't fully understand why that's a thing. Like, Tino plays lock at Clubland. Why not just put him there? Because I think put Ruben in the middle where I think he is objectively a better player.
I guess we'll see. I guess they were forced into a certain thing when Carrigan was like out.
Yeah, but again, you could just put Tino at
Yeah.
lock. I think that would be better.
Okay, well, I guess that's to be seen. In Billy, we trust, I suppose.
I don't trust Billy at all.
I know you
Trent
don't.
Liero is still in this team.
You just don't like Billy. That's the difference.
Why is Trent Liero in this team? There is no way that he is a better option on the bench than 90 other props that they need. Because one prop in Lindsay Collins is not enough. They have to be planning to play Finifuyaki in the middle. They have to be playing him in the middle. I don't see any other way that he is named at 16.
They won Max Black.
Well, he can do it.
I think he absolutely could.
He's certainly got the motor for it, that's for sure.
I'm also intrigued to see how the Blues decide to use Appy Coruscant, if they decide to use Appy Coruscant, because Daly came out and said that Ethan Strange is going to be on the field at some point. I don't know at what capacity that's going to be. I have to assume he's going to come on as ball playing block. I can't see him doing anything
I don't think
else.
he'd be a hooker, so
He wouldn't be a hooker.
because Reese we know plays 80 minutes.
And like,
right?
you're not going to sub off a centre, right?
No.
Unless someone gets hurt. So I think he has to be ball playing lock, which is going to be weird
He's
considering
come
they
in,
have
but he's-
8 locks in this team.
But he's coming out saying he's going to be playing in second row. I really don't
The
think
lock
that's
is
true.
part of the second row.
Yes.
The lock is part of the second row.
Actually-
You have to remember, Laurie Daly's vernacular is very, very old.
Actually, if you want to be pedantic,
Third row.
it's classed as a middle forward.
I guess it is technically a middle forward, but it's also like if you pack a scrum,
Yeah,
it's
they're
the third
they're
row.
the last row. Yes.
So I don't know. That's how I see it happening. If he comes on, I can't imagine they don't play Coruscant if they brought him in, right? Because they did play Blake Brayley when he came in.
Yes.
Maybe Victor Radley just doesn't get on the field, which I wouldn't complain about. I think they'd be better without that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I still don't get Cam Murray on the bench. I fully do not understand why that's a thing.
Because they've got to play Isaiah Yo at lock. Because that's his preferred position.
I still think at Origin
He could
level
play.
does fine.
He could
His
play
passing game just doesn't seem to translate to Origin level very well. It's very weird. He works fine as like he could run 18 times for 150 meters, and no one would bat an eyelid at prop. I think he'd be fine. Still don't really understand Mitch Barnett being there, but I don't know.
I'm that's all clear. He's now he's not dominating. He's dominating when it's 13 on 12.
Yeah, no, he hasn't yet. He needs like if he wants to shed that label, he needs like a 2023 grand final sort of game in Origin to shake that. So
I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either because
Now that Moses is in the team, he'll be the dominant half. That's what I think.
yeah, I'm intrigued to see this balance.
I just think they're both similar players. I think Moses has a slightly better running game because he's faster. He's got a bigger kick, but Cleary's kick is a more accurate kick.
Cleary's a better game manager than Mitch Moses is.
Yes, well, Cleary's got a good system and it doesn't work for Origin.
Not as well. It still kind of works because they're by no means bad. But
No.
I don't know. I want to pick Queensland. I really do, but their stats at the is it Melbourne? Melbourne are playing. The stats at the MCG kind of speak for themselves. They're 1 from 7 at the MCG, and
We've always seen that records are made to be busted, and that's happened a number of times this year already. So.
this feels. But it also feels like the Blues do this a lot, where if they win game 1, they've got a better squad. The series feels like it's unlosable, and they lose it. So
They've done that many times.
they've done that before. They have
They did that
fought for
last
this,
year.
especially under Laurie Daly.
Mhm.
So, look, I think that Queensland are in with a real shot. I really do.
Look, if they play a full 80 like they played the first 20 last game, they're going to win by
Caleb
30.
Ponga can fix his tackling.
Yes, please don't headbutt anybody else accidentally.
I
And
think
bust your ear open because he did. He absolutely, his ear was split.
I think I will pick.
Ah.
I think I will pick Queensland. I'm going to err on the idea that Mark Nolangani-Tuasi is going to chance his hand a bit too much, and that's going to lose them the game, and then he won't be in game 3.
And it'll be, I think, Queensland. I think Cam Munster's going to have a really big game.
I think if Queensland are going to win this game, it's going to be on the shoulders of Cam Munster and Harry Grant.
And Harry Grant,
It has to be those guys.
Harry Grant is one of the best game managing number 9s in the competition.
If you're the Blues, I'd always be thinking of starting Appy Coruscant.
Yeah, because he's a game manager.
Well, yeah,
as
he
well.
and Harry Grant are pretty similar. Appy Coruscant, we've seen how important he is to the Tigers, right? And if you give him the forwards of Payne Haas and Fanua Blake and all of these guys, and if he can do what he does with Fanua Pole, like
I mean, I know they're not going to do that because
Laurie Daly's an idiot.
and Reece Robson is a very.
Oh,
good
Reece
hooker.
Robson's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it would make sense if you want to play, if you want to try and match it with Harry Grant. But I think I will pick Queensland. I'm going to give it 22-18.
22-18 or 22-18?
22-18.
So I win by 2 points.
No, win by 4 points.
Okay,
22-18 is.
I'm going to make it 22-12, Queensland.
That's wow. Okay,
I'm going to say 20-16.
that's fair. Interesting. So we've all picked Queensland, which means, of course, they're going to lose.
Yep.
Obviously.
They've got it in the
Now,
bag.
round 16. 7 games this week. Okay. There's 3 teams on the bye. 2 of them are not the Knights and Dragons because they are playing on Friday. Kalen Ponga is named to back up on a 2-day turnaround. I will be shocked if that stands. They are
Actually,
playing the Dragons.
yeah, they may not back him up, but they reckon it's actually easier
to back up on
to back
short
up
rest.
closer, yeah,
Yeah, because you've already
because
just.
your muscles haven't fully just calmed down.
I guess the issue with Newcastle is that, like, ordinarily what they would do is they would just have Sandon Smith playing the halves and push Fletcher Sharp to fullback. They don't have Sandon Smith because he's injured. So who would they put in the halves if they don't back up Ponga? Like, who's there? Oh no, Sandon Smith is named in 20. Okay, so it is possible he comes through. Maybe, but they don't really have. I guess Harrison Graham is your hooker at that point. Anything else interesting here for the Knights? Jermaine McEwen is out. I think he's stood down, if I remember correctly, for some drink driving issues. So they get Thomas Cant starting on the second row, who's very, very good.
Wasn't he a philosopher?
Very
that
funny.
was Emmanuel.
That was Emmanuel Cant, yes.
K.
Yes.
Yes.
If they need a goal kicker, Tom Cant can do it.
Okay.
The goal kicking forward is
No,
making a
he can't.
resurgence.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
No, he
Ha,
can't.
ha, ha.
Thomas
Sorry,
can,
not
but
fun.
Thomas can't.
Moving on from that. For the Dragons, Jaden Stewart is out injury again. So they've got Moses Sully's back in the centres. No real surprises here. They've still got all of their forwards.
A little bit of interesting news on the Dragons during the week was that Joey Leilua wants out.
Luciano.
Joey.
Joey Leilua hasn't been in football for like 3 years.
My-
He loves
the
loves
other
everything
brother,
on the Tigers.
Luciano wants to
They are-
get out of the Dragons.
They are both divas.
They kind of are.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this game.
I think the Knights win.
I think it's entirely contingent on if Kalen Ponga plays. If he doesn't, I give the Dragons a real shot. Because their forwards are good enough that they could just carry them to victory. Like, I would pick the Dragons forward pack over the Knights forward pack right now with the Couchman Bros, Egan, Stewart, Loco. You know,
Dylan Lucas.
Luch is still a good forward. Dylan Lucas is good.
It's already named. It's also named
Dylan
back up.
You've got the Dylans playing against each other. I think Dylan makes slightly more sense because they have people on the bench that they could rotate him off if need be.
Yeah.
I don't think the Maroons would voluntarily take Kalen Ponga off the field if they can help it.
Yeah.
So I will tip the Knights tentatively,
Yeah, I think the Knights.
but I think the Dragons could make it pretty damn close.
Yeah.
This could be a tight, low-scoring game. I reckon it's going to be Knights by like 6.
Flanagan at the halves again.
Yes.
So they're going to lose.
Well, they beat the Broncos with Flanagan at the halves. Pretty sure. But the Broncos are bad, so
Can't refund.
I think I will tip the Knights, but it'll be close.
Broncos
It's
the worst
my
team in the
official idea. Now, Saturday opens up with what could actually be quite an interesting game if the Tigers were healthy, but they're not. So the Dolphins are going to beat them, and they're going to beat them by a lot.
40.
So the Tigers are rolling. They've got a few big ins in the extendeds. Adam Dewey named in jersey 22, Macassini in 18. You know, they've got a few of these
Well,
guys.
you know, I rate Macassini has done nothing this year.
I feel that he can't be playing. You need to put him back in New South Wales Cup. Let him get some confidence back because he's just.
He's
just
Staff Tyler's back and he's pretty good.
Safatoa, yes, he's there on the wing
That's weird. Why is he on the wing?
because Luke Daliligi isn't there.
Okay.
So he's out. Obviously, Kai Pierce-Paul.
One Patrick
Is-
Herbert on the
is-
left.
Patrick Herbert is in the centres.
Kai Pierce-Paul is out. So Alex Seyfarth is still the lock. Tony Sucker, the second rower, along with Sione
Sukaya, dumb nut.
Sucker. Apicorosia also named backup from Origin. That
But he
makes sense
probably
to
won't
me.
get too many minutes in
Yeah.
Origin anyway.
Bunty Afoa, he was pretty good last
Go
week.
Bunty. Guy with
Um,
the best name in the league.
And for the Dolphins, they've got. It's just the
okay.
same people, right? They're still missing Hammer. They're still missing all of their Origin people.
So
But
they're not
we
naming-
know that doesn't mean anything. So the Dolphins are going to win this game, and they're going to win it by quite some distance.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Isn't
wanna
Bunty
say.
a type of cave?
Because, let's have a look here.
Yeah, so it's the type of thing that you hang around the walls.
Platt and Finifuyaki named in the extendeds. I'll be surprised if Finifuyaki doesn't back up. If Platt doesn't, I will be less shocked because
Yeah.
it's just a workhorse. So yeah, Dolphins to win a lot is my official margin prediction.
Is that Colbert?
Yes.
Campbelltown.
Oh, the Campbell.
I know it's at Campbelltown. So we'll see how that goes. Dolphins to win.
26 to
Speaking of big score
Dolphins
lines,
are going to win 42-12.
well, if they're going to win 42-12, the Panthers are about to win 62-6 because they get to play the Titans. Although we do remember how this played out last year, the Titans nearly beat them.
If it wasn't for a stupid flipping trainer.
Oh man. Oh, we get how How many times do you reckon that B-roll's going to be run during the broadcast leading up to the game? I'm going to say a lot. Sit up. So, Titans. I think they're the same. I think everything is the same. Everything is the same. Oh no, Jojo Fafita name in the centres.
Come on, Keanu. Do your bit against Dylan Edwards.
The Panthers, no Casey McLean. He's out with a quad injury for I think about a month now is the prognosis. So they get to play Isaac Tungo in the centres. Oh no.
What a shame.
Cogger, Alamotti, all of their origin coverage.
Tungo, the only thing about Tungo is his defence isn't as good as his attack. But you know,
AJ Brimson, have a day.
AJ Brimson is terrible. He shouldn't even be in the team.
Yeah,
problem is they don't have anybody else. So
Panthers origin people named in the extended. No shocks here. The Panthers are going to win.
yes,
By a lot.
probably by more than we would like.
They beat the they beat the Warriors by 2 without their origin people. They should win this game by 10 times that.
Yeah,
I reckon.
20.
yeah, I reckon go close to 30. But anyway.
Panthers to win. Who cares by how much? It's just a win, right? They're just going to keep racking up wins.
They will,
Speaking of teams who need to rack up some wins, the Canterbury Bulldogs.
and they won't.
They won't because they're playing Manly.
They're playing Manly, who
With
are going well.
Tom Trbojevic back.
And fullback
Clayton
too.
Faulalo does his hamstring just in time for the other guy with paper hamstrings to come back. How good's that?
Woot.
So yeah,
Solar is named.
solid collar name.
Back up.
No shocks there. Outside backs, I think, are more likely to back up. Olakawatu's there, but he can just be named because he's the 20th.
Yep.
For the Dogs, anything particularly interesting? Crichton is there, despite being injured, I thought. How does that work? Whatever then.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Sure. Nothing particular.
No, Manly are going to win.
I mean, Kurt Mann is the hooker. So they've dropped Bailey Hayward, I think.
Yeah.
He's at the 14, yeah.
Manly will win.
I think Manly will win. I think Olakawatu is going to have a massive chip on his shoulder.
So he's going to be a bit
He
angry.
might go nuts this game. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, Manly to win simply because the Bulldogs are bad.
Bulls.
It is at Accor. So
That doesn't matter, I don't think. Bulldogs are just terrible.
Bulldogs fan base is the most bandwagon fan base.
Yeah.
I want to say when they're terrible, no one is there.
And even if they're good, it doesn't look like anyone's there because it's got 80,000 capacity.
Yeah.
And only like 20,000 people go. So that looks really, really small.
Bumped it for Manly.
Manly.
Yeah.
Well, those have to do with the Bulldogs. I
Okay.
don't know.
Speaking of terrible teams, the North Queensland Cowboys. We have learned nothing. We have learned absolutely nothing from last year because if you look at the jersey number 6, there's a man by the name of Jackson Purdue, and I'm pretty sure when they did that last year, they won 1 game.
The Tigers game.
They beat the Tigers last year with him in there, and the other times it was awful. And they're putting that up against the second best team in the competition. Have we learned nothing? I am so frustrated with this. I thought we'd finally turned a corner.
At least Braden Burns is
Like,
back.
I feel more bad for Liam Sutton. What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong to warrant getting dropped for Jackson Purdue? Honestly.
Nothing at all.
Just so frustrating. It's changing for the sake of making changes. How does this make the team better? How does keeping Zach Labert in the team make them better?
Yeah, well, Zach should be out. Purdue should be where he is. And
Sutton should be in the halves.
Sutton should be in
Sutton's
the halves.
been good.
He has been absolutely fine.
Sutton was one of their only good players against the Dolphins. And they decided, you know what, no. I'm lost. With
I'm
this team.
confused. And look,
Look, Nanaya's back.
yes, he's back.
Yay.
Connor's named to back up, which he
Uh,
probably will.
I don't think he will. He didn't back up the last one. That's why
But was he
McIntyre-
named?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was named. Is there anything?
Luke, he'll play obviously because he's 20th.
Sam McIntyre's in the 19, which is good because I don't have to watch him edge again. John Bateman in jersey 20 is there
Yeah.
for some reason. Why is he there? I don't know.
Don't know either.
Why is he in this team? We could have had John Radel. We have John Bateman.
John Squared.
Wrong
Yeah,
John,
John.
man. Long John. Look at that. Opened up the Excel spreadsheet of like possible players to sign, and they just misclick. They sent the email to the wrong guy.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
Look,
know.
look.
If the Warriors are going to win this game, and if they don't, they should contract the whole franchise. Because if they find a way to lose against this Cowboys team, I'm putting a line through them in terms of finals possibilities. I mean, they'll make the finals, but they won't win anything.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is a joke. I'm
I
so
don't
mad.
see the Cowboys winning very easily. Obviously, they can, but my goodness, they'll have to put together 80 minutes of good football.
All they need is for Scott Drinkwater to give a shit. Look, granted, them and the Storm were the teams to last have a bye, and in that Dolphins game, they did look very, very tired. So maybe a bye can do them some good. But if they come out lethargic in this game, I'm done. Because there is no excuse for them to do that at all.
They should be.
I don't care that it's in Christchurch. They need to be up for this.
They need to be raring to go.
Like, especially with like how
They've
close.
got to be ready for the conditions, right?
Yeah,
They've got to start wetting the balls, or they're going to practice with wet.
No, they tried to do that. Mitch Dunn got suspended for it.
Yeah, that's because he was copying the Penrith guy.
And like you're looking at the teams that are on 8 wins. It's Manly, who we've decided are going to win this week against the Bulldogs. It's the Knights, who we've decided are going to win against the Dragons. And then you've got the Roosters, and the Sharks, and the Dolphins, who we've decided are going to beat the Tigers. So if they want to keep pace, they need to win these games.
Yeah.
But it's the Warriors, man.
It's going to be really hard.
They're still rolling with Tamari Martin at halfback. They still don't have James Fisher-Harris, but I don't think that affects them too much. Luke Metcalf's in jersey 20. He's getting closer and closer to coming back into the first grade team. I wonder how long. If Tamari Martin loses this, I think Metcalf will probably be in. But they still don't have Halasima. But
Aaron Clark is just one of the best locks in the competition.
He's great.
He is amazing.
But yeah, I do think the Warriors are going to win this game by virtue of the Cowboys' own insanity.
I just hope they've got a better fight than in the last.
They can't. They're not going to score any points. They just physically aren't going to score any points unless they go completely away from the left side of the field. Because as soon as Purdue touches the ball, it's going to die. Because we've seen it before. He just doesn't have the passing game to be a half.
How was he a halfback in the lower grades?
Because it's the lower grades.
Without any passing game. I mean, you still need a passing game, though.
He's just Fletcher Sharp, isn't he? He's just Fletcher Sharp.
Yeah, Fletcher.
But Fletcher actually plays well in the halves, right?
Yeah.
He's Fletcher Hunt.
Fletcher Hunt, yeah, that's probably closer.
I can't believe I said that his ceiling was Tom Trbojevic.
It might still be,
We'll have
but
to
the
see.
ceiling's getting
I get
further away.
he's on spine money, right? He's going to get a spine position. I just hope it's not the 6.
No, I have it's the 1.
I'm more scared for what happens when Dearden comes back. Because if this is indicated that they're going to drop Jake Clifford, I'm going to lose my shit. I will be out on this team completely. If after Clifford putting together the best football of his career and being probably a top 5 halfback so far, and they drop him,
if they do that, that's major.
That is grounds for immediate firing. Yeah. That would just be an absolute joke. What do you think? If you tip the Cowboys, I'm going to hit you because they are not going to win this game. And if you think they are, you deserve to be hit. Oh,
I can't tip against my team.
of course you can. No, you're allowed to be realistic for once. Dude.
Look, I see that there is a path to them winning, but it's more the smart money is on
the path to them winning is the Warriors playing poorly. It's not them playing well. So, at least that's my opinion.
I think ceiling of the Cowboys playing the ceiling of the Warriors, it would be a good game. But given that
the Cowboys,
the floor is way lower than in the Cowboys than the Warriors.
Oh, the floor of this game is the Warriors winning like 40-10, pretty easily. And if the Cowboys play their ceiling, they win like 26-20, something like that. I just think the former option is a lot more likely.
Yeah, well, I hope that somewhere in there between maybe.
I get if you wanna pick a spot where the Cowboys can try and get some joy, it's around Dallin Watene-Zelezniak because as a defender he is not very good. So if you can try and get around him, so he's the right
against Murray Talangi.
So he's the right. Yeah, so he's Murray Talangi's side.
That's
so maybe
not so bad.
If you want to go there, I
don't
don't
hate a few times and see what happens.
But someone that's Jackson Purdue's side of the field.
He can't pass.
Well, exactly. Why wouldn't you put him in the centres and just have him run inside Watene-Zelezniak the entire game? Why wouldn't that work?
I wonder if they're just going to pull a dipsy at some point and just throw the number 6 back on what's his face and get rid of Laban.
That'd make me even more mad. Because why? Why do that?
Don't know.
That'd make me even more angry, honestly.
I don't know. Putting Purdue in the half
makes
me the angriest.
Hasn't Tom McHaley been hurt on like 5 separate occasions? How is he still playing? Are they really that strapped for forwards?
Because he is a very good footballer.
Easy as try eventually.
I don't know. I just think that the Warriors will win this game.
They probably will.
So welcome to the Cowboys slide. I think their draw upcoming is just so tough.
There at least is one more buy in there, which is
They've got
nice.
two players. They've got two actually.
Yeah, well, they've got one coming up relatively quickly, right?
Yeah, they've got one in round 18.
They have Penrith and then the bye again.
Good sandwich, the two best teams between the bye. Great. Why? This game could be more interesting, maybe. Melbourne and the Raiders play each other. This game's always goofy.
I think Melbourne are going to win.
Though, we've
Strange-
seen in the past that Canberra do play well against Melbourne, so
Stranger things have definitely happened.
Strange things definitely happen with the Raiders.
Oh, you're so
I'm
bad
sorry.
jokes.
I'm sorry.
You got up me for my jokes, man. That's terrible.
That was funny, okay?
No, it wasn't.
Alright, so Melbourne. Munster named to back up. Harry
Yeah.
Grant named to back up. They don't really have a choice if they want to push for the finals.
They players on deck. Is this Sunday?
This is Sunday,
Yeah,
yes.
so that
This
should be okay. That's 5 days.
the middle of Sunday. I think that's fine. The sort of Cooper Clark, Lasati is still there.
Some teams do 5-day turnaround Sunday to Thursday anyway, so it's not like, yeah, they should be right.
There's a Lockyer Azil
Fodiola!
That's a great
Isn't
name.
that
I wonder if he's
thing?
named after Darren.
Lockyer, yeah, probably. Right?
Yeah.
How old is he? No, we don't know anything.
Swagger Tuimalu Brown.
Yeah, he's been in. He's been
Yeah,
in for
Well,
a
he's
couple
on my
of
lap
years.
to
He's
Brad.
not. No,
No, he's bad.
he's not it. He's not it, guys.
No.
Yeah, I do think Melbourne should win this game. By all accounts, they should win this game. But the Raiders are stupid.
Can I say Moses Leo has got better?
He has, hasn't he?
Because he was pretty awful to start
He
with.
had to
Maybe
get
he's a-
injured and then get better.
Maybe he's a winger.
He is sneaky fast.
He's not sneaky fast. He's quick, dude.
Very quick.
Yeah, look, if the Raiders are going to win, they're going to go after one guy, and that's Joe Chan playing in the centres, which
yeah.
doesn't work. It just never works.
Two of my last two friends.
Wishart.
Honestly, yeah, like he's their Sualangi is really only their
Preston Cohen.
because like Nick Meaney is hurt and all these guys. So yeah, he's probably their best option.
Go
in which
down.
case-
I saw Preston somebody. I don't know.
Preston Conn. Who? You mean who? He's been in a couple of
He
times.
must
Jack
have. He must have
I
some
actually
bad
rate Jack
things.
Howarth. I think he's a good player.
He should be in the Origin squad.
Howarth.
Gambit should have Saki, probably. But yeah, for the Raiders, anything particularly interesting?
He should have been in the squad, so he wouldn't have got a game either.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that,
Yeah, I'll give the edge to the Storm, but
Yeah,
the Raiders
it
are so
could be
stupid.
anything.
KO Weeks could
I
just
heard
go
there was a thing in that guy's Cons game that he has good attributes, but he has some bad things as well.
Well, just like any other player, I guess.
Cons.
Yeah, very funny.
yeah, you tried to do the Bishop thing for the Warriors and it didn't work. Very good. Yeah,
Matt Tomoko's been pretty good recently, so
yeah, we'll see how that game goes.
Yeah.
And this game will be intriguing. The Roosters and the Sharks are going to play late Sunday game. I think all of the Origin people are named to back up. Yes, every one of them is. So, full strength teams, very interesting. I don't know who's going to win. Oh no, sorry, Savala is out. They have to put Tommy Talau on the wing. Never mind, the Sharks are going to win this game because Ronaldo Militalo is going to score 8.
Talau wasn't horrible last week.
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't.
It took an intercept to school.
Billy Smith is a good centre. We know what he does.
Robert Toyer is a very good centre. We know what he does. Mark Nguyen Kawaze is a very good winger. So look,
I thought Cole Hill failed his HIA. How's he playing?
sometimes they recover that they can still play.
It's 11-day mandatory stand down if they fail, right? Isn't that how it works?
I think there is a clause there if it sort of eases quickly, it's okay.
I know that they can
Maybe
appeal gradings, so
Yeah.
maybe, but I guess we'll see. You'd be looking for a ceiling game here from the Roosters, I think. I think you're looking for them to put it all together and put one of those holy shit performances.
And maybe you're looking at the Sharks who were
You're just looking
in
at
a slugfest against the Warriors last week. They could still be a bit bruised and battered from that.
the biggest news: 21 and 22, Brayley and Hines are in the reserves.
And Brayley, he broke his arm like 3 weeks
Because
ago.
he is the toughest player in the history of football.
He
He's
broke his
awesome.
arm like 2-3 weeks ago. How was he in the team?
Nico Hines with the longest 1-week calf injury of all time. So, if both of them come into the team and they're assumedly both fully healthy, this game could be very, very interesting. Look, the Roosters should win this game, and they probably need to win this game for the sake of any sort of credibility.
Where's Daniel Tupou?
Injured.
What did he do to himself?
Some lower leg
He's
thing.
been out forever.
Yeah, he
I
did
thought
some
it was
lower leg thing.
I thought it was his thumb.
I don't know. He's hurt. He's old, and he's a winger, which means it's probably a lower leg injury.
Or a hamstring.
It could be a function of how Origin goes for these guys. Like, if Queensland win, you're going to be looking for people like Lindsay Collins and Robert Toy to have their tails up. If New South Wales win, you could look for Tedesco and Nawangini Talasi to just go ham. I think, for their sake, they need New South Wales to win so Tedesco is happy. If Queensland win, I'm almost tempted to tip the Sharks. I think I'll tip the Sharks anyway, simply because I don't believe in the Roosters all that much.
I think the Roosters.
Which, of course, means the Roosters will win like 36-6.
Because the Sharks also have games like that in them.
Oh yeah, what's the okay? No, we're gonna look. What's the Sharks' recent speed?
Well, they've won 5 in a row.
Have they?
I think so.
They're due for a bad one, I'm sure. Yeah, they beat the Wars, they beat the Dragons, they beat the Manly, they beat the Dogs. They've won 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
They lost to the Rabbits.
Which means they are due for a bad game. So never mind. I'm tipping the Roosters to win by 1,000.
Yeah, I was tipping the Roosters.
I was tipping the Roosters anyway.
Oh, the under-19s. I forgot about that.
I don't know any of these people.
No.
Tyler Ferrero.
Dane Jennings. Woo.
Yeah, he was named on the bench for the Rabbits.
Taj Ladio.
Onatoni Large is my favourite name. How good's that?
Hayden Watson. He sounds like he should be in movies.
Any other names that I recognize? There's Bishop Neal. We found Bishop Neal. He can only run diagonally, obviously. Tupou Francis. This is a footballer name if ever I've seen it.
Yes.
We've got Amari Wynyard Skinner over here.
Wynyard.
I see Frank Howard.
What is this?
Jet Ryan.
Adequix. Adequix Jeremiah.
Holy crap! Adequix Jeremiah. What's
Luke?
This is the Key and Peele like Eastern Western Conference sketch. That is
Yes.
Tactheratrix. That's what that is. There's Ashton Large.
Woo!
Wow.
What if they're related?
The Large Bros.
Eddie Kalis, I know that name. I don't know many of these.
That's because there was a guy called Jason Kalis who used to be a Parramatta player. It's probably his kid.
Never mind, I found the best rugby league name. Diesel Hagen.
Diesel.
Diesel Hagen, hooker for the under-19 Blues. If he's not the best hooker I've ever seen, I'll be shocked.
Are you watching
you're
that?
worried.
Marcellus Iacopo. I'm
That's
intrigued.
what-
I have no idea who any of these people are.
Tyler Pereira. I wonder if he's related to Loppy.
I thought he might be related to Jordan Pereira.
Oh, that's probably closer.
Kingston 7.
I don't have a prediction because I don't know any of these
Joppe
people.
Walker.
Queensland.
So go Queensland. I guess.
Queensland.
Look at the
We
women's
should watch that.
The women's under-19 is also on.
Oh, you know even less of those people. We knew 0 of the
Yeah,
men.
right, do I know? Look, there's a Hopawati. What a surprise!
Yeah.
Freedom Crichton Rapati. That is a very Polynesian name.
I think Frank's got a sister.
Kira McGregor.
There's a Queenslander called Molo.
Tia Molo.
Probably Frank's sister.
Sienna Ibrahim. I love looking at these names. This is so great. I know the name Tori Shipton. I know that name.
And I think I'm
Captain of the Queensland team is Ina Desic.
Okay. I don't hate that.
Ina Desic.
Okalani
Amani
Compton.
Misa.
Okalani Compton.
Ace Pollock. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I like
Pollock, isn't
Ace
it?
Pollock.
South
Like, isn't
African
it a
chick.
thing that British people call you balls?
Brianna Tupy?
B or not?
Again, I have no idea, so just go Queensland, I
Yes,
suppose.
Queensland, who cares? Because New South
Do you
Wales.
think you're going a mile a minute right now?
No, I think that was a tap somewhere.
Okay.
That's it for this week.
It is.
For the rugby league, anyway. Congrats to the Knicks.
Yeah, well done, Nick.
They're champions for the first time in like 50 years.
So good luck to them. Well done.
Oh yeah, man. Mike, who's the coach of the Spurs? Mike Johnson. He needs to be fired immediately because how do you blow double-digit leads in basically every game of the series?
Yeah, that was terrible.
That's horrendous. Stop chucking threes when you're up like 20, you idiots. That was stupid. I cannot believe that. That was painful to watch because I was wanting the Spurs to win. I don't hate the Knicks winning.
That was the Spurs game plan for nearly every single game. Let's just throw threes everywhere.
And it worked for the first half of all.
Yep.
And then they just suck.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because the Knicks just played percentage basketball.
well, look, Jalen Brunson putting up 45 in Game 5 is he's the most clutch player in the entire league.
He's a good basketball.
Good, yeah. Hell yeah, man. Go Knicks.
Well done,
Happy
Knicks.
for New York. Everything's going well in New York. The World Cup, Australia beat Turkey.
Yes.
Very good. 2-0.
Let's
Great one.
come and beat the Yanks.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it,
Who's
Grella.
the goalkeeper? Is it Nathan Beach?
He was,
Is his
yeah.
name Nathan Beach?
He was. I thought it was Matthew
Is
Beach.
it Matthew Beach? I don't know, man.
Nathan Beach.
Nathan Beach is a place in
Nathan the beach cat.
Indonesia, apparently. Hold on. Oz.
Goalkeeper.
What's his name? Hello?
Where's the team?
Patrick Beach, his name.
Patrick Beach.
I had
He
8
was
saves.
a wall.
Awesome.
Nobody could
Great.
get past him. And what gets me is the flipping Turkey's captain or whatever still saying that they dominated Australia.
Analytically, we won that game.
You know
You
what?
have 70% of the ball and don't score
You
anything.
do know what? The fact is you actually have to put that little white ball into the back of the big net, right? And you couldn't do that even once. I'd stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
I don't know
Also, is it Grella? He's a dick.
Oh, that American sports
Yeah.
pundit guy. I hope the Aussies beat the Americans just to spite that guy in particular.
Yes.
Mike Grella is a jackass.
Yeah, he's just an idiot.
I hope that they beat America for the sake of
I do
So,
too.
the Aussies just play that in the pre-game. Just play the clip of him disparaging Australia in the pre-game. They're going to be angry because that's how Australians work. We are petty bastards.
And we play a physical game. Don't worry about it because we play rugby league over here. You guys play that pussy little NFL.
Well, we've seen how it operates at like basketball level as well. The Aussies just out-physical the Americans.
They
all the
actually,
time.
the Americans don't like the Australians' basketball style because it's too physical.
I like it. I hope.
And because the international rules is a bit different to the US rules, they allow a little more physicality in it, right? So,
So I will be waking up at 5 a.m. on Saturday the 20th to watch
Can you wake
the
me up?
Australians and the
Can you
Americans
wake me
play.
up?
I actually even wouldn't hate it if it was a draw because that would actually still stick it in the pipe of Grella thinking that
I
they
think-
don't hold a candle to the Yanks.
I think the way it works is if the Aussies beat the Americans and then Turkey wins, I think they're guaranteed a spot in the round of 32. I think is how it works for the Aussies.
Well, they play 3 games,
They play
right?
3 games, they win 2 of them.
They're through.
They've essentially won that division. So
Have we ever won a World Cup? I don't think we have.
No.
no, hell no. I think the best we've gotten to is the round of 16.
We did, and
Well,
that
the
was the
women's-
Italian game.
The women's got to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
That was the Italian game that was so ripped off by the referees in that game. The Australian Harry. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anything else from the World Cup? Cabo Verde tying Spain.
That was funny.
Their goalkeeper was awesome. He's like 40 years old or something.
Also,
And he was
Curacao.
Oh.
ridiculous.
yeah, sad Curacao.
Curacao
But you
getting
scored a
pumped.
goal. You
Like,
No,
scored a
but
goal.
they did score a goal against Germany.
Germany.
It's just let in 7 of them.
Well, let's just face
They're a
it.
small island nation with 150,000
Germany would be one of the favourites for the whole
Oh,
comp.
they always are.
And it's 150,000 people versus 70 million.
Yeah.
And a team that is like been to the grand final any number of times of the World Cup. So
Today was the day of
the day of
right?
draws, everybody drew.
Like Iran and New Zealand drew.
2-2 yes.
I think that entire division is on draws right now, which is pretty funny. Anything else intriguing happening?
Not really.
In the World Cup? We'll just go Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Yep. Aussie. And Queensland.
And Queensland.
Queenslander.
Heck yeah.
Anything else interesting happening in the week?
Not particular. I mean, the UFC fight.
I know one thing. R.I.P. to Oliver Tree.
Oh yeah, the helicopter crash.
Yeah,
in
that was
Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Also,
Never take helicopters if you're famous. Is what I've learned.
Vale Mr. Fa'asua Mala
Oh
Awe
yeah, Tino's dad, man. That sucks. Dude.
losing it. Tino said he was just going to play for his dad to give a smile on his face, and now unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? The fact that he's going to have someone else in camp that knows exactly what he is going through.
There's actually 2 because Billy Slater lost his dad not that long ago.
That's gonna be so
It could
good
be
for
strong.
him.
Yeah. Because Munster will be able to talk to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we forgot about talking about this last week. The Kane Evans.
Yes, I
The
was
Kane
about to
Evans
mention
piece
that.
that dropped where he came out publicly as gay.
Yep.
Which I think he's the first guy since Ian Roberts.
Ian
to do
Roberts,
that, right?
yeah.
Good job. I brought this up with
No, it takes a bit of guts to do it.
I brought this up with the motor neuron thing with Jai Arrow. It's another one of those things where you can put a face to a particular issue, and it makes it so much easier to like humanize it, I suppose, and it's a lot easier to understand in terms of I think especially in rugby league.
I think you can kind of understand people not necessarily wanting to, because rugby league has always been are envisioned as this big macho, like strong,
Yeah.
powerful, manly sport, right?
Yeah.
So
And I don't want to come off as rude when I say this, but there's obviously a large proportion of rugby league players are Pacific Islander and these
Yeah.
sorts of things, which are profoundly and
Religious
deeply
people.
very religious areas, and I think that's why the LGBTQ plus community it's always been like the sort of, I guess, the final frontier in terms of rugby league, acceptance, because it took a while for Indigenous people, and it took a while for Pacific Islander people and Kiwis and all that to get in. That community has really been like the last place to really be accepted in rugby league, because like nobody that I know at least likes Ian Roberts.
No, he was a wanker. He was really, and not because of anything.
No, I know.
He was just a horrible person on the field.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it tricky. But like Kane Evans, I think in terms of a modern sense,
You didn't really know a lot about Kenny because he was just a quiet achiever, right? He never really did a huge
And
amount.
the interesting piece about that was, like, obviously he was at the Roosters for a time. He talked about how Trent Robinson was really, really good for him. And one of the other, like, actual Pacific Islander guys that was there, I don't quite remember his name, but he was a guy that I remember I think Robinson, like, told him when he was playing that he should have retired and become a pastor. Like, he was that, like, deeply religious. And he was one of the biggest, like, positive influences for Kane Evans. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful story for him.
This is the thing, right? You can accept people. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything they do. That's the same with anything, right? But there's nothing wrong with accepting people for their decisions.
I think that's fair. But I feel like there is a difference between accepting and not respecting, like you're saying, and actively dehumanizing.
Oh yeah,
Which I think happens a lot.
that is
Especially in sports.
Yeah, that's not acceptable. Look, there's different people with different things going on in their lives. It's not just one or two different types of things that are going on. If you're accepting a person, that's what you're accepting. You don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything people in my own family do, right? So
Whoever does.
that's it, right? So you're not always going to agree with people. It doesn't mean you hate them. It means, you actually, it's probably the other way around. If you're able to respect them, even if you don't agree with them, I think it means you actually care about them more than somebody who purports to agree with them and then behind backs and stuff like this.
Oh, they're the worst people.
So you are allowed to disagree with somebody's, choices or whatever, but don't hate on the person. That's stupid. That's really dumb.
Honestly, I'm not. I think we're not as articulate as a lot of people that talk about rugby league. But the Boom Rookies podcast with Matt Baumgartner and Nick Campton had a really good 15-minute discussion on this exact topic. I highly recommend you go listen to it. They were excellent. It essentially boiled down to the fact that he's still Kane. He's still your mate football player, Kane Evans, right? He's just a guy.
He's a guy.
And I hope that.
And look, if you looked at Ian Roberts, there's no way you would have guessed that he was that.
No, not at all.
The guy was a brick wall. He was massive.
Yeah, so I don't. A lot of times this happens. I think back to a couple of years ago in American football when Carl Nassib, player for I think it was the Raiders, came out, and the amount of crap that he caught from fan bases.
See, that's wrong.
It's ridiculous.
I do not agree with that.
I've been very happy to see a lack of that for the Kane Evans thing. I think that's proof of progress.
Oh, look, that's right. And I think, like I said, we can accept people. People are not necessarily their choices. People are people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. You don't have to.
But
Don't be so vocal.
Care on them anyway. It doesn't matter.
I reckon there's Manly people that refuse to play against Kane Evans if they knew.
No, I don't think so. I think the only reason they refused to play was the way it was done.
Yeah, and see, that's the biggest gripe I've had with the NRL in a very long time, is that, well, I guess Manly specifically.
Manly made a big error.
The way that they went about the Pride jersey saga was not very good.
They hijacked the Women in League round to begin with and
Yeah.
made it a Pride round for them. And then they said, you must wear this rainbow little strip on your Manly jersey or whatever. And the Pacific Islanders said, no,
Yeah.
you can't force that on us just like that. And I don't even think Des Hasler necessarily agreed with it. He had to do it though.
And I think that that whole thing has kind of killed the idea of doing that, at least for the foreseeable future. Like in terms of having like they have Indigenous round, Women in the League round, and all these sorts of things. I doubt that they're going to try and do a Pride specific round.
Yet.
Probably not for a little while anyway. That'd be still too fresh.
It's still going to be hard because you do still have a fairly high percentage of players in the NRL are religious people.
Yes.
You see them at the end of games on their knees praying and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
obviously. But
so you have to also maybe what are they going to do? They're going to do a Christians in League round. I mean, it's going to get to the point where there's just everything in league, and it's like,
well, I think
it loses
that,
its luster anyway.
That specific point, I think falls closer to under whether you think it's a choice or not, because like for Women in the League round, you aren't born.
You're born
one or the other. Yeah. Well, at least most
people
you are
born. It's what you decide later is different. Yes.
Like you can't choose to be born Indigenous. You can't choose to be born Maori. In my opinion, you can't choose to be born as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. I know a lot of people disagree with that, and a lot of people agree with that. I don't want to get into
there's no
political
argument
about
an
that here.
That there's a number of different points of view on both sides on that, and it doesn't matter.
But I think that's why that doing that would be a very like a polarizing sort of thing, because I don't want to disparage all religious people, because I know a lot of religious people that are completely accepting and very loving of that community, but
without necessarily loving what they do, they still love the people who are there, and that's the important
I also
part.
know people who are vehemently
obviously
against it. So
but you've got non-religious people who are the same. Right?
Precisely.
Both sides,
and
right?
that's why it's such a delicate thing. So I don't think the NRL is ready to try and do that foray again yet. I hope they do at some point, because obviously there's been a very long period of time where these people have been just actively.
I think Toby
suppressed.
Rudolph came out and said something interesting.
Oh, he said he's. I'm trying to remember the exact
wording.
Not bi,
but he kind of was a bit. Fluid.
He said he's open to both, but is only attracted to one.
Yeah,
which
means,
power to him. I think that's fine.
It doesn't mean he will go out with a bloke, but he doesn't have a problem with people doing that.
If he's only attracted to women, then he's a heterosexual. This is how it works. But he's not like. He doesn't recoil in horror, I suppose, as lots of people are wanting.
And that's it. And that's where we need to delineate. But the problem is, on some sides there, it becomes, if you hate what they, or you don't agree with what they do, you hate the person. And that is also wrong.
I disagree with that rhetoric. Like
I said, you can dislike somebody going out and getting drunk.
I don't want to sound like prejudiced against the LGBTQ plus community, because I'm a massive supporter of them. But the irony of an ideology, or I guess a reality of everything being a spectrum, and then the ideology being you're either with us or against us,
and that's not a spectrum.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
The irony of that is not lost on me. So. All this to say, I suppose,
good luck for Kane Evans, and look, good on him for having the guts to come out.
Massive props to him for confidence for that, man.
And I think he'll feel better about it now as well, because he hasn't copped a whole bunch of nonsense.
I hope he's getting a crap ton of support from players, former and present alike. Especially,
I would say Ian Roberts would be a very large supporter, because he was the first guy.
Right?
He was the first guy.
Both Roosters.
No, Roberts was a Manly.
Oh, Roberts was Manly.
He also played for the Cowboys for 1 year or so.
Yeah, that's right.
He wasn't. Look, he was a hard man.
Yeah.
And I do remember he actually went on. There was a movie that came out, Superman Returns.
Yes.
The one with Brandon Root as Superman. Ian Roberts was actually in that movie.
That's pretty neat.
Played a henchman of
Hey, he worked. It worked.
Yeah, it worked very well.
It worked pretty well. I can't wait to
yeah.
see Amole Olakalatu in the next Expendables movie.
Good. He doesn't have to have a gun. He just runs over people.
Amole's going to be in the next Men in Black movie.
Yeah. I will still forever remember Kane Evans as the guy that leveled Sam Cassiano off the kickoff. That was great.
That would be hard to do, just saying.
Well, Kane Evans was a big dude. Like, we forget, he was a good footballer. He was just a bit of a hothead a lot of the time.
But you just remember that Sam Cassiano was like 120 kilograms.
It was a very large.
He was huge.
That Bulldog side
Him
was
and-
massive. Him and Frank Pritchard. They were.
man.
Tony Williams was also huge.
Yeah.
All Bulldogs forwards. That was a terrifying pack.
Oh, it was very, very scary that he didn't want to come up against.
Good times.
Years.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, that's it. So, look, good luck to your teams. Unless you go for New South Wales, you can just get stuffed.
I don't want to disparage the Warriors, but I hope they don't win.
I hope they don't win.
But I
I do
don't-
like the Warriors, but unfortunately they're playing my team this week.
So
My top two teams is my top two teams playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's top two. Well, everyone's top second team is playing.
I go for the Cowboys and anybody playing Brisbane.
My second team is the Titans. I'm depressed.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
I guess my second
Guess
team
that,
is
bro.
probably Finns
Odd.
at the moment,
Isn't it? Because they did the throwback Crushers jersey for Magic
which
Round.
actually was cool.
They've brought out the old Crushers mascot for the new guys. Over under 2.5 years until they're the Crushers again. I wouldn't mind the rebrand because I don't mind much. Most of the Crushers stuff is all right.
No, that was South Queensland. Do you mean
Oh no, the
Chargers?
Chargers. Sorry, not
Yeah.
the Crushers. The Chargers. They brought out the old Chargers mascot. They found that. So
Yeah.
how long until they're the Chargers again? Because the Titans rebrand has just been.
Because they were the Seagulls, they were the Giants, they were the Chargers, and now they're the Titans. I
I don't remember whether I talked about this when we did the Magic Round one, but the Bloke in the Bar boys brought up the idea that Magic Round and Retro Round should be combined.
yeah, why not?
I love the idea of, you know what you could do? I just thought of this. Obviously it could be Retro Round, right? What you can do is to get, fan involvement, you take a poll of the fan bases, and they vote which throwback jersey gets worn at Magic Round each year. I think that would be excellent.
We just have to do
You could have so much fun with fan bases rocking up. You could have a catwalk outside Suncorp Stadium and have people showing off retro jerseys. Imagine a Warriors fan rocking up with the tablecloth jersey. I think that'd be so much fun if you want to drive fan engagement and also, even from a monetary perspective, drive jersey
Well,
sales.
yeah.
I think that'd be a really, really good idea. I think it'd be fun as I think fans should have a lot of say in terms of that sort of thing.
I reckon the
Because
Cowboys.
rugby,
As long as it's not the overflow jersey, because you can't say overflow. They don't exist.
I saw an overflow jersey in Rebel the other day. I nearly got it
Because Toyota is the main
Yeah, right.
player anyway, so you would be having it hard.
I nearly
to get
got it,
one
but
of
it
those.
was 2XL. It was too big for me.
They're too expensive. Oh no, they're not as expensive as the new
I
one.
think it was like $90.
Yeah.
More than that bad.
I reckon the Cowboys should use their 2024 charity jersey.
I
The one with the horns.
they've obviously done the Carl.
That's the Carl Webb one.
Yeah,
That was 2004 one. That's the
That one's great.
love
The
that.
Cowboys have had some really good jerseys over the years, and that was probably their best.
I don't know why everyone hates the Lightning Bolt jersey. I actually don't mind that.
How long until the Marvel jerseys count as throwbacks?
Well, they haven't been around. Haven't been around for a while
All the other
now.
ones, that Sharks jersey that had the shark mouth over the midriff was
What about
ugly
that-
as.
what about that
Oh, go the
Wolverine
Manly
jersey?
Wolverine.
That was
Which
the
was the
worst.
Parramatta jersey.
My least favorite jersey, possibly of all time.
The Warriors are like the
See, I know that the
flannel
South
one
Sydney
was
used to
pretty
do the DC thing with Superman and
Yes.
stuff as well.
I like the tablecloth jersey. I don't know what you're talking about. I like that.
cool. It looks like a flannel that you're wearing to play rugby
Kinda
league.
does.
We've been
yeah.
going for 90 minutes. We're gonna
Yeah,
wrap
we
this
gotta
up.
go.
We will see you guys. Actually, we'll probably see you guys tonight when this goes up because we'll be
Yeah.
streaming Origin, and then in the review on Wednesday.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you then.
And it could be Tuesday because we won't be doing trivia.
Go Cowboys. Go
Come on,
Australia.
Cowboys.
Go
Go Australia.
Maroons.
Go Maroons.
And go New York, I guess.
Yay.
They didn't burn their city down.
They didn't. Had a good party though.
It's fun. All right, catch
Have a
you
good
guys.
week.
Hey,